All right. We got the smoker to cat hanging down here. We're building 1600. So we'll call this a Sunday morning 1600. This is for Chip and Tammy's bus. So yeah, here we go. Got the studs installed this morning, tapped the holes, and now we're installing the pistons back into the cylinders. We got the cylinders cleaned. We're gonna install them back into the cylinders and stick the heads on this. So I guess I'll go ahead and leave the camera on and make a little Volkswagen video. So there we go. There we go. Doop 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 doop. So we got the ring compressor on here. You know, we have our snap ring in the correct location. This is a band type compressor. For the big block and the small block stuff, I actually have a sleeve. I'll make that for a Volkswagen that I'm aware of. I'm sure JC makes it or somebody out there makes it, but I don't have them. I have the old school stuff. When you put this on, there's always going to be a little gap right here. You want to make sure that you don't have a ring opening in that gap when you compress the ring compressor. So we're going to go ahead and install this now. Snap ring always goes to the flat side of the cylinder, and the arrow always goes to the flywheel. We already have our snap ring installed when it's going to be where it's going to be next to the other cylinder and we can't get to it. So we'll drop that in. Somebody asked about this LKQ bat, and I think Andrea, I don't know where she got that. She got it somewhere. One of our vendors, I don't know. So there, and we're just gonna push it to the bottom, turn it over now, and pop it up. There you go. Back in the cylinder's cleaned, it's lubed up, and now all you have to do is put it up there, slide the wrist pin through, and push the cylinder on. So, and we'll go on to this one. It's going to be like this. That's number 2. Take our piston. Number 2. This is the bottom of the cylinder, so we're going to look for our ring gaps. We'll move our ring gaps to the top. Check it for an oil gap. The little scraper rings are pretty small, so you have to check your finger and make sure there's not a gap there. I like to locate it right over the top of the wrist pin hole, and the other one straight up. So there we go. We have our rings where we want them. Now, this part that I'm doing now, I'm going totally against what Scooter taught me. He likes to put no oil on the ring package or the skirt. And although I never had a problem building them that way down there, I just never liked it. So I put a little oil on the piston. We did a 912 motor for a guy down there, and we put some Childs and Albert pistons on it, and some Fumio heads, and car ran excellent. And problem was, when we fired it up, it wouldn't quit smoking. I mean, it was a freight train. And again, now we're looking, this is going to be our open area here, so we want to select an area that doesn't have a ring gap in it. Pull it up. This is going to be our area right here. So, anyway, we put that motor together, Scooter did, and always double check, make sure that you're clear. We put that thing together and it smoked like a freight train, and we called Childs and Albert up, and they said, oh, well, you put oil on the rings and they won't seat that way. So ever since then he's installed the barrels dry, and he's had really good luck with it, but I don't have the same. I've never had anything damaged, but I've never tried to do it that way other than when I worked for him. So I like a little little oil on them. So there we go, number 2. Make sure everything looks right. Arrows going towards the flywheel. Keeper's in the right location. We'll set this one off to the side and we'll do the last one, which is going to be number 3. Cylinder will be in this orientation. Or I'm sorry, this is number 1. So there's our piston. And again, bottom of the cylinder, top of the cylinder. Go. Oh, I just broke a ring there. So let me inspect these because I didn't like the way that sounded. You gotta be real careful not to pinch the ring. And if you hear any kind of Captain Crunching sound, check it out. Now's the time. We look good, just sounded bad. I always have one that's difficult, I don't understand. There we go. Again, I'm going to check and make sure that I'm not in a ring gap there. And we're good. Arrow's going towards the flywheel, snap ring's going towards the flat side of the cylinder. And square the tool with the top of the cylinder there. And wipe my hands off. Got a little early on that one. So there we go. Slide it down, turn it over. Okay, we're good. There we go. Let me get them back in order here. Lay them out on the bench to where they're going to go on the car. And next thing we're going to do is clean our hands up. And I think I got some paper towels out here. I'm not sure. Paper towel and clean the bottom of these cylinders up a little bit so we can glue them. A little bit of glue. A little thinner, lacquer thinner. Clean the jug up, do a circle on it, wipe it up really good. This is a pretty important step here. You know, you want to make sure that you have a clean surface for that silicone to bond to. And although they make some silicones that are impervious to oil, if they're not clean, it'll push the silicone right out and won't take effect. So make sure that your surfaces are cleaned up really good. We'll go ahead and try to refocus over here. Let me move the camera around. So I locked my keys in here last night and had to pull the garage door open, and the old red rope down there that's tied to the door was half sticking out the door out there, so I grabbed it and pulled it. And you know Murphy's Law, you know that guy Murphy. Well, it must have been tied around the engine stand somewhere. The shop gnomes came and tied it to the engine stand, and when I opened the door, the engine stand fell over. But don't worry, it didn't hit the ground. My bus caught it, you know, put a big old dent in the bus, and well, 2 or 3 of them, and broke turn signal ends. So that was a good way to start my day. But other than that, everything's just peachy here. So here we go. I got you focused in there. Well, I probably need to put you over here because I still got to glue these bad boys. But, there you go. Can't make my mind up, guys. Sorry. All right, let me grab some silicone here. See if I can find it. Find some silicone. It's where it's supposed to be. Unbelievable. Use some black silicone on this ultra black. Ooh, got a big old bug in my light over there. Big bug, big bug. Let me get a shot of that. You probably can get those up north. It's got some serious girth. This thing would wreak havoc on a paint job. Look at the size of that thing. Woo-hoo. I don't know what it is, but it's ugly. All right, back to the piston cylinder video. That's going to be way too long. There we go. A little break from the monotony. All right, we're going to run a bead around these. And move the towel over because I like to do it this way. I'll just take my finger and wipe it around. There you go. Guys, never, ever, never use the paper gasket that comes in the gasket kit on the bottom of the cylinder. These motors, especially if you have an 8mm stud case, doesn't matter if you don't. If it's a 10mm case, throw them away too. The problem is that these motors can contract and can expand, and as they do that, the paper gasket gets fatigued, and when the paper gasket fails, if you measured that paper gasket, it would be a couple thousandths or a half a thousandths. So in theory, when the paper gasket gets compromised, now we have a space between the cylinder head and the top of the piston cylinder, because we no longer have the foundation that the cylinder has been sitting on. So this can cause the cylinder to come loose prematurely, and it can cause leaking under the cylinder. So you never want to use that paper gasket. I know a lot of the how-to videos that are out there and buy my shit, and they throw that paper gasket on there, and it makes me want to cry. And so you just don't want to use those guys. It's not the place for it. And these cylinders have some flashing on them. Just Got my finger cut there. Anyhow, this will never leak under here, ever. Even if the cylinder comes loose, you can retorque the head and this will still seal. It works like an O-ring unless you let it really get out of control. So it's a much better setup going with the black RVT. I like the ultra black. It's exactly like the ultra copper. I use the ultra copper on my race car. We use it on the cylinder head with no gasket. I mean on the exhaust, not on the cylinder head. We got a copper gasket there. Alright, let's go ahead and pop these on now. We got that ready. Let me see here, make some room, ready some stuff, because everything starts happening and quick here, and if you're not prepared, you know what happens. So we'll get some wrist pins ready. Got another pack, 2 more packs of clips to open here. Saw Neil's video this morning, pretty cool. They're working with his dad in the garage. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if that was his dad's car or what, but it's cool to see them working on it, tackling the transmission. It's always cool to see guys do new things out of their comfort zone. And me and Dave's Customs, we were talking in an email, and he was saying that he had to learn to do it all out of necessity too, because he couldn't afford to pay somebody, and that's sort of how I learned, you know. So we're going to take this and we're going to oil the pin bosses here a little bit, and I'll probably just I don't like to get any silicone on that, so I'll just a dab, you know, right on the inside. You don't want it running out all over your silicone at this point. So go ahead and get a wrist pin started here. A little bit of lube. There we go. And we'll start with this one. Have to put you guys right here, and can't get the bench and the motor, so I'll rotate the motor, put our pulley on here. And you want to get your rod all the way out. We're going to start with number 2. Going to put a little oil on the bushing of the rod. Little squirt there. Install our snap ring next. And of course, again, just like we did last night, you need to grab the snap ring, rotate it, and make sure that it is connected. What that was. There you go, get all these studs lined up. There you go. And there you go. Now I like to do one side of the motor at a time. Some guys will go to the other side and do that cylinder over there, but I don't like to do that way. go. Wrist pin tool, drive it in there if you have to. Put our clip in. You don't want to forget these clips. They don't run long without these. Not long at all. Okay, we moved it, spun it. We're good. Now, got the 2 piston cylinders installed. This next item, if it's forgotten, the motor will not live. These are the deflector plates for under the cylinders, and they're a must. You gotta have them, guys. Now they have the 211s, they call them. You can use those. I like these. Never had these, you know, fail me, so. That's that. Next we gotta put some push rod tubes together. We'll do that next. These are our push rod tubes. Slide those on, make sure you don't cut your thumbs when you're putting these on, they're pretty sharp. And you don't want to mess the seal up either. So. Okay, a few of these, get them all done, I guess. Oh, and had an O-ring hiding in it there. You gotta be careful for that. They have the little copper kit in there too. Alright, now on these push rod tubes, it's a little another quirky thing. You can see these things are laser welded right here. There's a seam. Seam goes up all the time. Don't leave the seam down. If you leave the seam down and there's a leak in that seam joint there, you know, it can cause you some, whoa, camera to fall. It can cause you some leaking issues, so you just want to always point that seam in the up position. There's our head. So we're going to take the head. And we're going to go ahead and threw some 60 thousandths decompression trims on there. Lower the compression a little bit on this one. We just can't get good gas anymore, so I just take the head and I use it to hold these, you know, I'll pop them in like so. And go down the line and pop them in. These can be sort of aggravating, you know. And of course you want to make sure you don't smash these when you start to tighten the head down. You want to keep a visual on them, make sure they're seated where they go. Looks pretty good there. You want to make sure you rotate your seams to the top. You know, All your seams really go. Get a head bolt on here. Head bolt or two. All right. So these are 15 millimeter, of course. Most of you guys know that. You want to check them, and double check them. Because once you smash them, they're done. So it's the mumble tonight. Hopefully we don't lose power and we're able to partake in that. I signed in this morning to see if Neil was on there, but I didn't see him on there. Figured I'd come out here and do this. So I gotta get rid of this stuff, man. You know, just trying to mow through it. I'm slowly getting it done. Get that other motor done first of the week. Hopefully I'll get some push rods. And get that going too. Alright, one head down. I'm just going around and snugging it down. You know, we'll come back with a torque wrench here in a minute and torque them. These from the factory are 18 foot-pounds. I like to go to like 20. It is a stretch stud, so give it a little extra, you know. Of course, that all depends on the condition of the stud too. You know, if the studs are old, you might want to stick with the 18. Okay, there you go. Get that locked down. Again, I'm gonna really want to work around. There we go. It's one side down. "31-minute video, man. I don't know. Go ahead and pop this side on, or should I just shut it off? I'll go ahead and do the other side. What the heck? Start on the back cylinder, and now we're just going to repeat the same process and walk further. Squirt Earl on the bushing. I'll do that when I get the rod out. You got to sort of work quick at this because you know your silicone's dry in here. So drag up. See the clips for this one of them. I'll get this cylinder on anyway. There's a clip. Go. Rotate your snap ring. Slide cylinder on. We're going to rotate the motor over and get the rod out of here. There we go. Well, it's one of those snap rings, so those are all Chevrolets. Let me grab one. I'll be kicking myself in the yes. Here's the other type of snap ring there. Looks like a snap ring compared to the C-clip. But these work fine for a stalker. That's what this is, just a stalker. So here we go, our last one. I'm going to give the rod a shot of Earl. On the wrist pin here. What is it, Smokes? Damn sure hot today. Make sure the snap ring rolls freely. There we go. I'm gonna put our deflector plate on next. Snap, snap, snap. Couple head bolts here. Grab our head real quick. Oh, look at me. There you go. See? Not being too big of a damn hurry, guys. Start dropping shit on the floor and forgetting stuff here. Put our compression shims in there. Might run a little rough there. Probably would have run just fine. That's the scary thing about a Volkswagen. They will take a beating. It's a good car to learn on. Might be short-lived, but they do run pretty much with whatever combination you throw at them. Okay. What happened to my other ratchet? Set it down somewhere. You guys probably know where it's at. There's some bolts, nuts, washers. So this is going to be another long ass video. This is the home of the long video. You know, if you want to just turn it on and I don't know. I apologize, but I mean, if you want to get the whole thing in there, you know, it just takes time. And I don't like to edit stuff because, you know, I feel like maybe you missed something that way, or you know, you might miss me forgetting to put the shims under in the cylinder head there. Or like when Ziggy caught me putting the head gasket on backwards. You know, it's better if the camera's running, probably. That way I can look at the video later and see how many mistakes I made. There you go. Some of these started, then we'll go to the torque wrench. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. It is hot and humid today, boy. I pull. Yeah!
What are you doing in there?
Building the motor? What are you doing?
Go to Walmart.
Huh?
Let's go to Walmart.
What's happening there?
I gotta go get some sugar and stuff. Hey, Andrea, this text Carolyn.
Yeah?
Said she's trying to get a hold of you.
Okay, I'll try to find my phone.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
You need anything from the store?
No, I think I'm good. Let's go call Andrea. See what she's doing. Looking good. Probably have to go pick the kids up for something crazy. At least I got this done. And come back, put the rocker arms on, and paint some sheet metal maybe, sandblast some sheet metal, distributor, oil cooler, all that good stuff. All that going. Alrighty, one top in on our 1600 single port. Go ahead and shut this off and get a hold of Andrea.